I just want to welcome everybody. Tonight's program is brought to us by La Fuerza CDC. Tonight's program on developing a marketing plan will be presented by Tammy Severino. Thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. So good evening, everyone. My name is, as mentioned, is Tammy Severino, and I am the Director of Development and Marketing as a consultant to La Fuerza CDC. Um, we are based in East Norwich, but for the last year and change, we are based right on your computer screen. And we have an entire series of programs that we are presenting as technical assistance to business owners like yourselves or prospective business owners throughout Nassau and Suffolk County. And tonight's program is on developing a marketing plan for your small business. I'm going to share my screen and go right into the presentation. If you have questions, you can feel free to put them up into the chat. When we're all done with the program, I'm going to take questions either from the chat or you can unmute yourself and ask a question. And my contact information will be listed at the end for those who are uncomfortable asking the question, particularly something that may be like so specific to a unique kind of business. You can always feel free to reach out to me following the program. So creating a marketing plan for your small business. And tonight's program will be designed for the types of plans that small businesses need versus a larger business or a nonprofit. There are other types of plans. This is specific to small businesses. So the first thing is to understand what your marketing plan is. And it is an outline for your marketing strategy for your company or business. It's going to include the goals of the business, tangible actions that you can take, and the anticipated results and how to measure them. So your marketing plan is basically a roadmap for your business as you execute different marketing tactics and measures and measure the results of every effort, each and every effort over a particular window of time. So you might be measuring monthly, quarterly, and annually. The purpose, why have one? Like anything else, planning allows you to measure. If you are shooting from the hip, you don't know if you are successful. And if you can say at least that you know you are successful, it's hard to gauge how successful you are. So your marketing plan is going to work in conjunction with the overall business plan that you may have already prepared at the onset of your business. That is a dynamic document. It should be checked. I like to suggest that you check it every 6 months to make sure that you are meeting your milestones for your business's growth and sustainability. And your marketing plan is going to work in tandem with that business plan. It's a map, really, when you think of what a marketing plan is. It's the actions, it's the strategies, it's your advertising efforts. It's each and every campaign that you're going to use to promote your business overall, as well as the products or services that you have at your local business. And what it's going to do is help you to take your ideas and make them actionable and trackable. And the fact that you can track it is actually one of the most critical pieces of a plan, one of the most critical purposes of a plan. It's to help your marketing efforts stay on track so that you can achieve your goals and objectives. It helps you to avoid wasting dollars. Those dollars, as you know, for your business do not come easily. And so to spend them, you want to spend wisely. This is going to make sure that you're spending purposefully and that you track to make sure that you're headed towards success. So before you begin writing, there's a number of things I like to suggest that you do. And this holds true whether or not you have a long-standing business or if you are entertaining the idea of a brand new business. So consider some defining questions about your business. So you want to think about your products or services. This works either way. So you want to define your company and either your products or services. Consider all the strengths and weaknesses that your business has. And every business has both strengths and weaknesses. Write them down. It's the same way like when you're trying to lose weight that they tell you if you write down everything you eat and you can track, then you can kind of do a better assessment. Write your strengths and weaknesses down. It's going to help you to do a better assessment. You want to also write down all the different business opportunities that your company has and that individual products or services that you're offering may have. Now, that may be active ones that you are currently offering. So you might have a product on your shelves that you are currently selling, and you may have been approached about a potential product or service, and you're considering whether or not you can market that well. So that's a business opportunity for you. Write down challenges for your business, both internal ones, meaning maybe you don't have enough staff to do all the things that you want to do. You're a one-person show. That's an internal challenge. An external challenge, COVID threw all of us an external challenge. It might be new competition that's opening up down the road. So that's an external or outside challenge. And you want to make sure that you have written or rewritten your mission statement. Your mission statement is your company's purpose. It is the reason your business is doing what it does. It's not just to make you money. If you are the local deli, it's to provide the best food with wonderful customer service that can be found in your community. That's a mission statement. So you want to make sure that your mission statement and the tactics that you use to make that mission statement run every day are in sync with each other. There are some more questions to consider. So who are your customers? It's really important that you understand your target market. If you're a local dance school, how far do you reach? What types of kids are coming to your dance school? Is your market possibly the adults as well? Are you offering adult classes, or is it strictly for younger kids? So you want to consider your market and be as specific as possible. You want to make sure that you know all you need to know about the demographic you are marketing to. So where do they go online? So you know how to market to them online. What are their interests? What are their personal or professional goals if your business speaks to one of those? And any other relevant questions that you can think of. So the answers are going to ensure you have a clear picture about your market and how you can reach them. So that's why getting so specific is really important. And that holds true, as I put down, everyone from an ice cream shop to an insurance broker has a unique business personality that you're going to use to attract the customers that you want to bring to your business. Consider who your competition is. So it's really essential to evaluate your competitors. Even when you wrote your business plan, you had to consider the competition, because if you were looking for funding, whether that was coming from the SBA or an investor or a bank, or even if you were putting your own dollars in and wrote the business plan as part of good form, you had to consider, is there too much competition in the marketplace? What kind of competition is there? Are you doing something very different? So here again, you want to evaluate your competitors and what they offer and how they market it to the marketplace. Is your competition doing something that can inspire your marketing plan for your small business? Maybe there's, you think of something that they're doing and you go, you know what, I could do it a little differently this way. It's going to inspire you for your particular plan. And does your competition market in ways that inspires fresh ideas or help you to see things that you maybe need to tweak within your own business? So it is always a good idea, even after you've written your plan, to ensure that you're keeping tabs on the competition. And while you're checking them out, if they carry something very similar to what you carry, or a service that you offer, you should be checking out what they charge. What is their price point? Because if they're charging that much higher than you are, is it that they're expensive, or are they where the market will bear and maybe you have a little room to increase some of those prices? And then you have to consider what your unique business proposition is. So this is often referred to as the unique business proposition or the unique selling proposition. It's what makes your business special. How are you different? So it's going to describe the competitive advantage that your business has in the marketplace versus anybody else doing what you're doing in the area that you're offering it. And that might be that you offer lower prices. It might be that you have the best customer service in town, or it might be that you have a product or service that's either unique or superior. So whatever that is your unique business or selling proposition. And it is vital that you consider that, because when you consider what that is, part of what that is why a customer would come to you. Your product is better, your service is better, your prices are better. What is it that is better that is attracting those customers to you? And in understanding that, you will be able to highlight those things as part of your marketing plan. So the next piece is setting goals or objectives. So you have to think of your objectives as your mini goals. You have overall goals. I want to grow the business by 10%. Okay, now you need smaller mini goals. And your marketing plan will help you to define the steps that you have to take to achieve each mini goal. Every marketing plan should have several objectives. And furthermore, a good plan should have some market data to support what you want to do. If, let's say, you have a small business and you're selling goods and you sell it in a brick and mortar way, and now you want to expand your offerings by selling them online. Some of that market data might talk about the growth of online shopping over the last decade, and even more so in the last year and a half due to COVID. The online opportunities have expanded for companies dramatically, and some of those statistics will show you that is why it's supporting what you're planning to do with your business. So here's some sample objectives. So you want to introduce new products. You want to boost sales of a particular product. Or in a particular market or a price range, but you want to be specific about where your business is going to come from. Not, I'm going to increase to a larger scale market. Okay, who, where, how are you going to get them? Enter into long-term contracts with some desirable clients. So that may speak more to service-based, whether catering or accounting. You want to get some big long-term contracts. That could even speak to a local cleaning company. Lots of different service providers can look at that particular objective as a very strong objective for them. You want to raise prices without cutting into your sales figures, meaning if you are selling an item for $1, you want to be able to sell it for $1.10 or $1.25, but not reduce the number that you're going to sell. If you were selling 100 units before, you want to still be able to sell 100 units, but now you've increased the price so you have more dollars to take home at the end of the day. So you want to enhance. Manufacturing is really speaking more to businesses that are making something. So, and that could be catering, product delivery. It's all about ramping up what you're doing. If you are service or widget in that space. You want to increase your market share by 10% before the end of the year. You could adjust that number to wherever you're thinking of. So maybe you want to increase by 1%, 2%, 25%, but pick I always believe in picking aggressive but realistic numbers. You want something that you can achieve. You don't want to say we're going to increase by 25% and only have the ability to grow by 5. So make it something that you have to work to achieve, but that is achievable. You want to grow your mailing list by 20% or expand into 2 new geographical areas. So if you're in Oceanside and you want to expand into Island Park and into Rockville Center in terms of where you're drawing your customers, if really you're very laser focused in town. And you want to expand awareness of the business's name. Now that's a little more amorphous. So how are you going to prove that? So you want to, whether it's more inquiries or more sales, if you're tracking where people are coming from. And those are just some samples. You can absolutely pick objectives that are really specific to your business and that are part of your particular goals. So you want to include deadlines for your goals. That's really important because we want to grow the mailing list by 20%. That's nice. Over what? 6 months, a year, 5 years? Have a specific goal in mind in terms of time frame. And then like I said before, make your goals as realistic and specific as possible, both the short and long-term goals. Be specific with them and be realistic with them. So you don't want to set yourself up for failure. Your marketing plan is going to support those goals. Your marketing plan is going to include measurements for each goal. And like I said, consider the time frame and budget that you have or that you're willing to spend. So if you have a marketing budget of $1,000 over the course of the year, well, you have to spend very wisely. If you want to make marketing a big push and you're going to expand the amount you're going to spend over a particular window of time, to give yourself a little bit of time to get some traction and to see how successful it can be in terms of yielding you some new business, then you need to consider the time and money factor side by side. And you need to consider whether or not you can commit to your own marketing efforts. Do you have the time to do this on your own, or do you need help? And if you need help, where are you getting that help from? Do you have an intern? Are you going to pay someone? Do you have someone in the family who's offered a little sweat equity to help you? And then if you achieve a certain level, maybe then they get like you can pay them from where you've seen some growth. So now that you've given thought to all of those ideas, and I know it sounds like a lot, but my want is for you to be able to develop a plan that can truly be useful. So having done all of that legwork, now you can set to the writing of the marketing plan. These are the different pieces you want to include in your marketing plan. And we're going to go through each one: the executive summary, your business description, your situation analysis, marketing goals and business objectives, target market and your delivery plan, your unique selling proposition and tactics to deploy, messaging guidelines, your budget, and tracking and evaluation. So your executive summary is sort of a high-level summary of everything that the rest of the plan is going to describe in detail. It's kind of a 360 view of everything you're planning. It is the first thing someone will see if they were looking at your plan, and it is the last thing you write. So you take everything else is written and you read through it, and now you go to the front page and you write that executive summary. If someone does not want to read all the way through their own plan, or if you were showing it to someone else to invest in your business or things like that, this is the piece that they're going to read if they don't read the entirety of the plan. Then you have your business description. So that's everything your business is about: where you're located, who the owners are, how you're doing in the marketplace. Or if it's a brand new business, how you anticipate being set in the marketplace, your mission statement, the core values of your business. So if customer service is number one, you're going to put that in there. That's a core value of your business. And any external factors that are currently impacting the business or that may eventually affect the business. Situational analysis. It is not, it sounds very, like you had to study for it in a class. What this is the detail. It details the context for your marketing efforts. So here, this is what we talked about earlier, is understanding internal and external factors that can influence your strategy for your marketing. So that's looking at changes in the business. It's looking at the target customers. It looks at competition. It looks at things like socio-political climate or new technology. If you are looking to develop an app for your business, or you're doing something where people can go onto your website and place an order for the local deli to have all their lunches prepared and sent right to the local business. That's some new technology you're deploying. So many companies do what's called a SWOT analysis. This is done in all major business analyses, and it combines both that internal and external component and looks at 4 key things. It looks at your business's strengths, its weaknesses, where the opportunities are, and threats. Threats are a large mortgage that you're having trouble paying, or that your staff is leaving, or in the case of the past year, COVID came in as a threat because many businesses could not access their own customer base. So that was a threat. Now, as we're emerging from COVID, were there things that you did to stay alive that you can incorporate now with your old school methods of dealing with your customers that combined can be an opportunity? That it's a strength that you were able to pivot as readily as you did, and now you have 2 ways of accessing your customers. The next thing you're going to do is your marketing goals and business objectives. And we have talked some about this already, but you're going to tie in your marketing goals with your overall business objectives. So this way, the marketing is the tactic to achieving those business objectives. But these marketing goals are going to focus only on the parts of your business that marketing can actually influence. It's not going to help your finance, how you're handling your finances, but it can help in how you're handling getting out there to new customers. So here you have a company objective of increasing repeat business revenue by 15%. So the marketing goal to go with that might be to create a reward program where and this could be for a yogurt shop, a card shop, anywhere where a pet shop where someone's going to come in over and over and over again. You have a reward program. You want to ensure 10% of your current customers sign up over the next 6 months, the first 2 quarters of the year, into that reward program. So this section is often referred to as the challenge because it tackles the marketing goals that the plan is going to take on. So this is the big meaty part of it. It's what are the goals and how the marketing plan is going to tackle those goals. So you have your target market. We talked about that. It's one of the most important aspects of marketing is understanding who you're marketing to. If you're a pet shop and you're marketing to people without pets, it's fairly useless. You want to market to pet owners. That's your market. If you are a daycare center, you want to market to moms and dads of small children or to couples who are coming down that pike towards parenthood because they may need you for childcare. But folks whose kids are getting ready for college, not a good place for you to market. So you have to know your demographic. Distribution and delivery plan. So this is the business's outline on how it's going to sell and deliver products to the customers. So that's wholesale, retail, online, business to business, or direct to home. So those are all of your distribution methods, your delivery methods, and that's really, really important to know because it's also going to speak to how you can use those delivery methods as part of your marketing. The unique selling proposition that we spoke about before, how your business will gain a competitive edge within the marketplace, and what are the benefits of coming to you versus anybody else in the neighborhood who does what you do. And then you have tactics and strategies. So these are all of the different actions that you may take. This might be email campaigns, social media. It might be being part of a local street fair that hopefully we will be getting back to street fairs all throughout Nassau and Suffolk. So being part of all of those things, you might develop a reward plan and you're going to market that. So it's all of the different types of marketing tactics that exist and which ones you're going to deploy, how frequently, and for which campaign. So for your reward program, if that's something you are launching, as you get ready to launch something, you're going to be marketing that a lot because you want to get the name of that program out and about and associate it with your business. So one of the things that you may do is send a personalized invitation to your current customers because you've already identified them as part of your target market. And when you do it, you want to make things that are really easy for the customers. So you're going to have in the campaign a link directly to the page that they can sign up. And you're going to highlight all the benefits of becoming a reward member with your business. So if that reward program is something that is a business goal, this is how marketing can influence that goal. Messaging. Strong messaging positions your business within the marketplace. So it helps your business to stand out. It shows the value that your business has to your customers and your potential customers, and it helps you to reach your audience. So, Starbucks has positioned themselves as the go-to place for a cup of coffee, for conversation, for a snack. It's ubiquitous, so much so that they have taken the word Starbucks off their cup because we know them, and now they just keep honing that message over and over again. We have come to understand their name, their brand, and their messaging. You want to have your general messaging guidelines in your marketing plan. Budget we talked about, how much money is going to be needed to execute this campaign as you are presenting it. And perhaps if it's more than you can spend, then perhaps you spread out those timelines so that you can, if you're going to have a certain amount this year and a certain amount next year. So now you've built in those deadlines and timelines according to what your budget looks like. And then you have monitoring, tracking, and evaluation. And those are the different metrics that you're going to use to track the performance of each individual tactic you have used. So we talked about sending an invitation for a reward program. And let's say that invitation went out via email to 500 people. And now from your analytics, you can look and see that 125 people went to that link. And 70 people, we're looking at some nice numbers, 70 people signed up. That's a huge return. Or perhaps 30 people signed up and 20 people sent an inquiry either on through your email, or they called, or they stopped by to ask questions. And then some of those would have signed up, having had their questions answered. So you're going to track how each different tactic works. So some key takeaways for writing this plan. Your plan, your marketing plan, is a critical part of your overall business plan. So in your business plan, there is a whole marketing section. This is diving deeper on each piece related within that plan. Your marketing plan really, really should focus on the business's target audience. It should help you to guide every marketing effort that you undertake each year. And you want to make sure that that marketing strategy is in sync with the overall goals that you have for your business. And you want to write down all the necessary information beforehand. The worst thing you can do, especially if you're nervous sitting down to write some of this, is to sit down and go, oh, wait, that piece of information is over here, and this I have to look up on the computer. Have it all fingertip ready. You are, in a way, preventing yourself from stopping because you don't have an answer. Have everything in front of you so that you can sit down and effectively write. And like I said, it's really important to include timelines for every campaign. Continuing onward, you want to assess your plan for any potential stumbling blocks. Like if you put down campaigns that are going to take place every week or every other week over the course of the year, and you're a one-person show, your stumbling block may be having enough time to get that done. So assessing the plan once you've written it, consider it a draft once you've written it, then go back and read through what you wrote. Set it down for a day or two, and then go back and read through what you wrote and make sure that you are not aiming beyond what your capacity looks like, unless you have a way to achieve that particular, whatever you've written down beyond that stumbling block, because otherwise it's always going to be the big elephant in the room. You're not going to be able to get past that. You want to break down your plan, your strategy, the tactic, the goal, the time frame, the cost or budget for a particular campaign, the metrics to evaluate it, and how it blends into the overall plan for each piece that you want to do. So if you have 4 business goals or 3 business goals, now you have to have a strategy to achieve each of those goals, the tactics that are going to be used, the time frame that's involved for each one, how much each of those cost, how are you going to tell if it's doing well, and then just kind of looping it back. Does this really make sense for my business? Number 9, this is huge. Start small. Don't plan a marketing campaign that an office of 20 is going to be able to undertake with as a reach if you're 1 or 2 people. Start small with baby steps. A small win is still a win, and you can grow as you go. So it is better to sort of get your feet wet and then take on more and more as you have the capacity to do so. Consider collaborative efforts. There may be a marketing tactic or strategy that you want to deploy that you can do in partnership with another business, where they're not your competition, they complement what your business does. And that way it's not as much work for you or for them, and it may have the effect of bringing dollars into both of your businesses. And last but not least, be sure you're being patient with yourself. This is a new thing for a lot of small business owners. I've said this in some other classes, 50% of small businesses in the United States don't even have a website. So if you're at the space of saying, I need a marketing plan, you are really ahead of the curve. You are thinking with growth in mind for your business, and that is wonderful. So be patient with yourself if it doesn't all come super fast and super easy. It will take a little time. It will take some effort, even just to get the plan written and then to say, okay, this is my priority. These are the tactics I need to hit my first priority goal. Let's start with that. By the way, having the timeline, the timeframes for each one, that will also help you to determine if you have 3 major goals, put them in order, 1, 2, and 3, so that you can put that time frame. You're not jumping out of the starting gate with all 3 goals all at the same time, all by yourself. You want to say, okay, this is goal number 1 that I want to go for. I'm going to get that underway. And while it's cooking, while it's out of first gear and kind of up to parkway speed, now I can start with goal number 2 and then do the same thing. And once they both have some traction, now you're bringing in goal number 3, and then all 3 are moving, and it's easier to keep going. You try and start all 3 at the exact same time, it may get very overwhelming. And that is what I have for you this evening. We are at 7:40, and I always like to leave some time for questions and answers. So I want to give you first my contact information. Again, my name is Tammy Severino, and I'm Director of Development and Marketing, the consultant to La Fuerza CDC. And you can get me at tammy@lafuerzacdc.org, or if you have my phone number right there, if you want to reach out with a question, or you think of another question, even if you asked them tonight, if you think of something afterward that you want to follow up on, by all means, please do. I am going to stop the share so that we can chat.
Tammy, I'm going to stop the recording and then we'll, okay, one moment. Here we go.
Okay.